Hello and welcome everybody. My name is Rebecca Wolf, Chair of the OT Department at AT Still University, Arizona School of Health Sciences. Welcome to the 2025 ATSU MSOT pinning ceremony. This pinning ceremony is among the most treasured occasions of the school year, and it provides us with an opportunity to reflect on these students' past years in OT school and to share the achievements of the students with their parents and peers. They wouldn't have gotten to this point without the wonderful support of the faculty, staff in the OT department, the upper administration, as well as family and friends who have really supported them throughout their journeys. I'd like to thank Dean Birch, the Dean of Arizona School of Health Sciences, for being with us this evening. And also thanks to all of our support staff, AV and IT team as well. So I'm so excited for this event. It's truly been an honor to guide the 2025 MSOT students through their academic journeys. I'm so proud of all of you. I have no doubt that you will make excellent occupational therapists, and I'm so excited to soon consider you all my colleagues after you finish your last fieldwork rotations, right? Now I would like to welcome Professor Mindy Delbridge to introduce our first student speaker.
Wow, thank you. That was quite the applause. Thanks. Okay, you ready? All right. The Power Dog, Toby the Tiger, Uni the Unicorn, Howler the Coyote, Dusty the Roadrunner, Humphrey Hawk, and Buster Bronco. These are the names you may know the student from for her 14 years as a mascot. Or more famously, you may know her from the TV show Behind the Mask, or for receiving the 2016 Outstanding Actress in a Reality Series, which she beat Joanna Gaines, by the way, or when she shared the stage as Buster Bronco at a Garth Brooks concert. Yet, despite her celebrity status, you wouldn't know her as anything other than Navy, a kind and genuine occupational therapy student. Navy's journey toward occupational therapy began when she was in elementary school. She had a calling and a need to help others. Navy befriended a boy at school with cerebral palsy who had a feeding tube and was in a wheelchair. Not wanting him to be alone, she would sit with him at lunch in the nurse's office and play with him at recess because the playground wasn't wheelchair accessible. This instinct to help and uplift others was apparent at a young age and continued throughout her life. After her first year in college, Navy was unsure of her path, so she responded to the call to serve others. She embarked on an 18-month mission to Trinidad, Spain, where she learned Dutch, Spanish, and Portuguese. Navy described this experience as a defining moment that shaped her into the person she is today and inspired her ongoing commitment to serving others. After her mission, she returned to Arizona and met her husband, Mossy. Shortly after, they were married on the best day ever, May 18th, which happens to be my birthday. She returned to Boise State University to finish her undergraduate studies and assume the role of the school mascot, Buster the Bronco. Navy continued to show her compassion toward others. In a game with 50,000 fans, she would take the time to meet with kids from St. Luke's Hospital who attended the game. She had wanted to make them feel like they were included and part of something bigger. Towards the end of her graduate schooling, Navy found herself at a crossroads once again. She was unsure of her career path she should take. She completed a career aptitude test that revealed occupational therapy. She said she sobbed with happiness when she found occupational therapy, but occupational therapy had found her. She applied to graduate schools and did not tell anyone she was interviewing, as she wanted to share the news with her grandpa before anyone else. Following her interview with ATSU, she unfortunately found out that her grandpa was about to pass. She went to her grandparents' house that evening and told him about the interview. Although he could not respond, she knew he was proud of her and would be with her during occupational therapy school. Once again, Navy felt a calling to occupational therapy. She knew that at this moment, occupational therapy was the right career and ATSU was where she was meant to be. As Navy's advisor, I had the honor to see her evolve and grow into an occupational therapist. When asked how her classmates would describe her, Navy said, "Life of the party, so good looking, and genuinely like to be in my presence." While her response was spot on, her classmates paint an even fuller picture. She's compassionate, vibrant, uplifting, outgoing, and brightens every room that she walks into. As your student speaker, she represents the MSOT class of 2025, embodying the kindness, compassion, and resilience of this cohort. Navy has answered the call to serve through occupational therapy and has a bright future ahead of her. I am proud to introduce your student speaker, future occupational therapist, and your mascot, Navy.
I know. First time thinking. Oh, is my you guys have my talk right here? Wow. I have it here too. Double ready. All right. Well, hello. Welcome to ATSU. I know a lot of people have kind of flown from all over the place. We have Guam in the house. We got Hawaii. I think we have the Queen of England here. Where is she? She's right over there. Beautiful lady. Well, welcome. This is a beautiful occasion. Oh, hi, Brighton. Well, hello, family, friends, and my soon-to-be colleagues. Just know that of the two student speakers, sorry, I'm a little nervous. Just know of the two student speakers, you are getting the top of our class and the class clown. I'll let you decide who's who. What an absolute honor it is to stand here before you all one last time, being voluntold to make a fool out of myself. But truthfully, this is such a cool and humbling experience to be nominated by my cohort to address you all tonight, or what my mom has been calling my valedictorian speech. I still don't know why you would choose Reese and I to represent you. Maybe it was our dashing good looks, our super cool accents. But really, I think we won you over with our impressive 9-hole peg performances at the OT Olympics. Regardless of the reason, thank you from the bottom of my heart for entrusting me with this honor. As mentioned by Mindy, most schools hand me a sweaty costume and put me in a corner to dance in events such as this. So this is really, really cool. But let me get to the good stuff. But we've done it. We're here. We did it. We made it to graduation, and I want you to know how much I have genuinely loved our time together. Whether we worked together on projects, trauma bonded through the grad school stress, had brief conversations or waves in the hallways, or you have infiltrated my every single family event since the moment you've come here, Emily. Regardless of the reason, thank you for entrusting me. Oh my gosh, hang on. Where am I? All right, right here. Know that I cherish every one of those moments, big and small, especially if you sent me your study guide because you had pity on me when I told you I hadn't studied for an exam less than 24 hours away. Professors, you didn't hear that. Know that I have love for each and every one of you. I can still remember how anxious, a little scared, and slightly excited we all were sitting in orientation, so uncertain of the journey that we were about to embark on. But how incredible has this journey been? We've learned to be patient as we endured 4 weeks of APA writing. We learned to be resilient when the first patho exam didn't go play out as great as we hope. We learned how tough and difficult the role of an OT can be while on the field, but quickly learned that it is all worth it when our patients are so full of life again, doing something that they thought not to be possible anymore. But most importantly, we've learned to love. We've learned to love our patients, our journey, our specific fields, the good times and the bad times. Some of the moments I've loved the most, starting the booze of Dr. Pica after disagreeing with TBL answers, throwing Benji a surprise birthday party after he told us how much he hates his birthday, the most dramatic and iconic ending of a Powder Puff Championship game the world has ever known. Watching Kat grow from our little anatomy professor, our lab helper aide. Where are you? Oh, she had to go. Okay, well, watching her grow from our little anatomy helper to the fantastic professor she is today, and finally seeing that she isn't in a boot. And then sitting around campfire MDA camp before campers arrived, anxious, a little bit more scared, slightly excited of the unknown, and then being hit with the hardest week of my life, but it being drowned out by my next favorite memory. Sobbing in the corner of the barn with Spicer as we watched our MDA kiddos riding horses. Something so many people said was impossible, but because someone loved these kids, it was made possible. We are the ones going to make the impossible possible for our patients because we love them. It is our love of OT that will teach people about OT, changing the narrative of, oh, you guys just help people get jobs, or I've already had PT today. Unless you're my father, who about 1 month ago asked me to help my 97-year-old grandpa get a job. So I got to work on my elevator speech still. Maybe after tonight, Dad, you'll know what OT is. It is the love of our families, our friends, and our soon-to-be colleagues that we are carried to this moment today. Thank you all for your love and support at every step of our journey. To my love, thank you for being my #1 supporter, for cheering me on the loudest and the proudest, for being the best practice patient a girl could ask for. Even though I definitely got docked points because your min assist is everyone's max assist. So if I think Dr. Sheeran docked me on some points, because I did a max assist on a min assist, and that's why. So if I could get those points back, that'd be great. But just know I love you for all eternity, my love. So here we are again, anxious, a little scared, slightly excited for this new adventure. It's not going to be perfect by any means. So when the time gets tough, remember you are patient and resilient. Remember that the good times outweigh the hard times. Remember that I have love for you all. And if my love isn't enough, remember the love you have for OT. Remember the love your community has for you. And most importantly, remember to love you. Be your own OT when compassion fatigue sits in. When you feel beat and on the verge of giving up, show yourself love and remember to ask yourself my favorite question of, why did you choose this topic? Remember the good times and the hard times that you've learned to love. So, my colleagues, you've all changed my life for the better. I love and appreciate you all more than you know. I've loved this time of my life, and I will cherish these moments forever.
Okay. Hi. Just have to find where I am in this book. Okay. So I have to go after that. Wow. Thanks, Navy. Okay. So funny, smart, ambitious, dedicated, kind, generous, caring, and British. These are just a few of the words that his classmates used to describe Reese. Having known Reese for 2 years now, I can definitely say that I agree with this description. Some other words that I might add would be passionate, resilient, outgoing, and motivated. I also asked a few of Reese's classmates about what they admire in him. I was told that he is a generous friend, that he goes out of his way to do things for other people, that he truly cares about others and is willing to help when asked, that he can make a joke out of anything. While I haven't heard many of his jokes yet, I agree with this as well. And I do hope that Reese knows just how much of an impact he makes on other people. So many of you know that I'm a huge Taylor Swift fan, something that Reese can relate to since his wife Jess is also a Swiftie. So it was through Taylor that I learned about the invisible string theory, something that holds significant meaning to Reese as well. This theory is based on the idea that people are connected to their person by an intangible string that transcends time, distance, and geography. Well, I think this theory relates to more than just people. Similar to myself and many others in this field, occupational therapy sort of found Reese. He actually started his career as a teacher of physical education and history for middle and high schoolers in the UK, eventually making his way to the US where he unknowingly ended up in a place that allowed him to reconnect with his now wife and then to later find occupational therapy while working as a PT tech. Something wrong? Oh, sorry. We were looking at Navy while I'm talking about Reese. There we go. So this job also ignited his love for hand therapy, which Reese plans to pursue after graduation. I know that he will make a great hand therapist and occupational therapist, and it is a great honor to have been part of his journey and now to introduce one of your student speakers, Reese O'Neill.
Very much. Yeah. Thank you so much for that. Now my head is the size of Pluto. Let me get my speech out. Have a little look, see what I'm going to say. Before I do my speech, though, can I please get my cohort to look at all the people that are here? It's so fantastic to see all the people that you love, the people that supported you, even our professors, the way they supported us. And so thank you so much for making me the best version of myself. Can we please put our hands together for everyone else here? Now, to my speech that I titled "Very Important Speechy Speech." It's a little bit more serious. I don't think it'll be nearly as good as Navy's, but I'll give it a go. So, hello everyone. To my cohort, don't worry. I promised Emily Simon that I wouldn't talk about the Carl model, in fear of having to owe her $100 if I did. And I will spare your family another presentation on how good the teach back method is, even though it is the best. I'll let you guys do that for me. So, but I will talk about perspective. Perspective is a funny thing. For instance, if I said a big accomplishment to each and every one of you, everyone in this room would think of a different thing in some shape or form. For example, if you did an assignment in one sitting, you might think that's a big accomplishment. If you graduated from OT school, you might think that's a big accomplishment. Or if you ate an extra large pizza by yourself, you might think that's a big accomplishment. I've definitely done that at some point. But the most important thing is that everyone experiences or perspective differently. And it's funny because perspective can always be brought into view. So, kind of like what Navy said, right now we're sat in the very same room we booed Dr. Piker for that TBL a year and a half ago. We acquired memories, friends, and knowledge that we will carry with us for the rest of our lives. We trauma bonded, as Navy so eloquently touched on. We had highs and lows. We had moments of high anxiety and moments of complete relief. We had Spa Day Tuesdays with modalities. And we had what on the earth language is Dr. Bay speaking in statistics? We had days where we were presenting mental health topics about things we genuinely cared about and that mattered. And we also made TikToks for some reason. But I digress. Let me put our experiences and accomplishment into perspective. So we started on a very hot 17th of July, 2023. Since that time, we started our first class in Ocotillo and Ironwood for anatomy and the good times, as many of you will disagree. It's 23 months ago, 24 classes we've completed altogether. And of those 24 classes, we have sat and completed 66 exams. We've completed and handed in 340 assignments. We've sat our butts down for 1,355 hours in content lectures. That's just the content lectures. That doesn't even include the time taken for orientations, many volunteer hours, open labs, MBCOT prep, meetings, level 1 fieldworks, or the 3 months of full-time fieldwork that we did. So, that being said, if I had a beverage in my hand, I'd raise a toast to all the cherished memories we have shared with one another throughout our time here, to putting our big accomplishment into perspective. Onwards and upwards, friends. Cheers.
I feel honored to share with you the achievements of our hardworking Masters of Occupational Therapy students. This is an occasion of pride for all of us as we have come together to celebrate their achievements. Faculty would now like to take the time to present 2 OTPT Clinic Awards and 3 Occupational Therapy Achievement Awards. I'd like to invite Dr. Gross, Dr. Sheeran, Dr. Bauer, and Dr. Anders up to present the awards. Students, if you're called up for one of the Clinic Awards, please stay for the group photo.
Hi, everyone. Hello. Uh, I'll miss that, Navy. The Center for Occupational and Physical Therapy, or more commonly known as the OTPT Clinic, is the name of AT Still University's on-campus pro bono rehabilitation center. The OTPT Clinic was founded in 2019 to further the mission of our university of serving the underserved. This includes individuals without health insurance and those who are underinsured. Individuals from across the lifespan within our community are welcomed into our clinic and receive free occupational and physical therapy services from students under the supervision of faculty. The clinic is fully student-led, and the Student OTPT Clinic Board is integral to the running of the Pro Bono Therapy Center. Students volunteer to become a member of the OTPT Clinic Board and spend many hours ensuring the successful operation of the clinic. We would like to share our sincerest thanks to these OTPT Clinic student board members, because without their tireless dedication, the community would not be as well served as it has been under their care. Please accept these cords and certificates for your exceptional commitment to the Pro Bono Clinic. Johnny Chacon, Bailey Ivy, Grace Jeffries, and Rachel Nickel. Come on up. All right. So the next one is the OTPT Clinic Above and Beyond Awards. Dedication, excellence, inclusion, compassion, and equity. These are the values of the ATSU OTPT Clinic. There are students who have volunteered for the clinic who absolutely embody these values and go above and beyond to serve our community through their service. These students were selected for the OTPT Clinic Above and Beyond Award for their number of patient treatment hours and the number of times they volunteer their time in the clinic. Please accept these cords and certificates for your exceptional commitment to the Pro Bono Clinic. Annika Gonzalez, Kevin Harper, Karina Madigan, and Emily Simon. Come on up.
So next is the Academic Achievement Award. The Academic Achievement Award is an academic honor earned by students who have excelled in their studies and have received the highest GPA in their cohort. Their hard work and dedication throughout the program have been outstanding. As faculty, we all recognize these students' strong work ethic and determination to achieve academic excellence. And we have more than one. So I would like to present these awards to Reese O'Neill, Karina Manigan, Morgan Peterson, and Kelsey Powell.
Next, we have our Spirit of Occupational Therapy Award.
Okay. So I'm filling in for Dr. Bauer for this one. So the Spirit of OT Award is an award given to a student recognized by faculty as someone who demonstrates a positive attitude, kindness, and compassion and towards others. This student supports their classmates by bringing everyone together and lending a helping hand to others when needed. This student has demonstrated outstanding commitment to the program and to the field of OT by being involved in the university community volunteer opportunities and/or special groups within the community. I would like to present this award to Navy. I can't see your last name. Yeah, Navy. You still with him? Okay.
The Leadership Award is given to an occupational therapy student who has demonstrated exceptional leadership skills and professionalism during their time at ATSU. This student is recognized by faculty as someone who has gone above and beyond in their responsibilities as a student and as a representative of the program. This student portrays strong leadership characteristics by being an advocate for the profession and other students and by always leading by example. I would like to present this award to Morgan Peterson.
And now please enjoy our slideshow. Now I invite Dr. Tanya Sheeran to the podium for the introduction of our keynote speaker.
I'm excited and honored to introduce the alumni speaker for tonight's MSOT pinning ceremony. Jeanette Kuhns graduated from the MSOT program here at ATSU in 2022. During her time in the OT program, she was an active member of the Student OT Association, or SOTA as we call it. She was a member of the Health and Wellness SOTA Committee and the co-head and founder of the Pelvic Health Special Interest Section, for which I am the faculty advisor. She strove for scholastic excellence while in the program and was involved with the anatomy department as a teaching assistant. Jeanette was a lead student board member for the Center of Occupational and Physical Therapy at ATSU. This unique pro bono clinic offers OT and PT services to the community and is led by student board members such as Jeanette, with the guidance of faculty. Jeanette learned about pelvic health as a specialized area of OT practice through her work in the OT-PT clinic. She signed up for a level 1 continuing education course immediately after her first experience observing a faculty member complete a pelvic health treatment in the pro bono clinic. She continued this journey toward pelvic floor certification during her second year in the program, and that is where she is working now. Her exemplary academic performance led to her induction into Pi Theta Epsilon, the Specialized Honor Society for Occupational Therapy students. She became the vice president for her second year. She embodied the spirit of Pi Theta Epsilon with her dedication to becoming a pelvic floor occupational therapist and advancing the field of OT in pelvic health. She is currently an outpatient pelvic health specialist at Spooner in Ahwatukee, Arizona. And in 2024, Jeanette became an adjunct professor here in our OT program. She developed and co-taught the pelvic health elective this last December. The electives are specialty courses offered to the MSOT students before their first level 2 fieldwork experiences. Jeanette's contribution to this course demonstrated her leadership and passion for OT, and particularly the specialty area of women's health. Jeanette also loves to travel and go on outdoor adventures, and she prioritizes spending time with friends and family, although enjoys reading fiction whenever she has time. Please join me in welcoming Jeanette Kuhns, this evening's keynote speaker.
Thank you so much, Tanya. You guys get to call her Tanya now too. Thank you so much for having me here. It's such an honor. What a great cohort to speak in front of. I love that I know some of your faces. And it's just so great to see you guys again. And thanks for having me here. Today is more than a celebration of your hard work. It's a moment of transformation. Following your last fieldwork rotation, you will no longer be students of occupational therapy. You will be fully equipped professionals, entering one of the most dynamic, human-centered, and misunderstood fields in healthcare. My name is Jeanette Kuhns, and just a few years ago, I was exactly where you are now, getting ready to step into the world as a brand new occupational therapist. I graduated with my master's from AT Still, and since then I've been working in a very specialized area of practice, pelvic health. My early journey wasn't without resistance. Pelvic health is a niche field and one that's traditionally been dominated by physical therapists. By the start of my second year as an OT student, I knew that this is where I wanted to be, so I started carving my own path so that I could specialize right out of school. But I had to advocate again and again, not only for myself, but for what occupational therapy can be in pelvic health. I turned down jobs that couldn't see my vision and chose one that empowered me to practice to the full scope of OT. That decision changed everything. This is something I want to encourage you to do. Don't wait for permission to follow your passion. Start building the road yourself and be open to the opportunities that present themselves to you. I committed early on that anytime I had the chance to effectively elevate my OT lens and advocate for the profession in my space, that I would say yes. It's how I ended up learning advanced manual skills and clinical skills in rooms full of physical therapists, often as the only OT voice. I spoke up. I brought our perspective to the table, even when it was uncomfortable. It's how I was able to find a company that recognizes my expertise and allows me to lead community events and workshops and help people at a higher level on top of my typical practice. One of my biggest honors of my career so far was co-creating and teaching that pelvic health elective here at AT Still, which was a breakthrough event within the OT academic world and a full circle moment I'll never forget, and one I hope to keep returning to for as long as they'll have me. I'm only in my third year of practice. There is still so much to learn and so many ways to grow, but I'm building a career that I'm proud of, one rooted in integrity, advocacy, and alignment with who I am as an OT, attempting to treat every day within our full scope. Now I know that I can't practice any other way, or else I stand the risk of losing my passion and honestly ending up in a super boring job that doesn't feed my soul. Let's address something head on. No one knows our scope of practice better than we do. Not physicians, not administrators, definitely not insurance companies. We are the experts in what we do. And what we do changes lives in a way that other fields often have difficulty comprehending. Every time someone asks, wait, OTs can do that? You have a choice. You can go the easy route and kind of shrink back, or you can educate, advocate, and elevate. We do not need to wait for permission to practice to our full potential. You are the permission. The license you're about to hold is a license to innovate, break down barriers, and to insist that the patient deserves everything that we're trained to offer them, not just what's convenient for the system. So when someone tries to tell you what's in or out of your scope, remember this. Our scope is not defined by tradition or ignorance. It is defined by evidence, regulation, and the powerful impact that we make on real lives. You are part of the most amazing field, a field that transforms lives not just through recovery, but through empowerment. Our full scope spans physical rehabilitation, mental health, sensory integration, cognition, wellness, and more, so much more. We are uniquely positioned to treat the whole person and not just the diagnosis. But here's the catch. In an attempt to understand OT, the world loves to put OT in a box. A productivity box. A pelvic health but no orthopedic treatments box. A stay at the elbow and below box. Or an ADLs only and leave ambulation to the PTs box. How can a hand therapist fully treat the upper extremity without treating structures at the nerve roots in the cervical spine? And the cervical spine is often influenced by how we load through the foot, by the way. If ADLs don't include ambulation, how do patients get to the bathroom or closet? The boxes don't make sense and limit what your full scope entails. And more importantly, limits the patient's outcomes. Don't stay in these boxes. Escape that box by advocating for what you know helps people. If your patient is struggling to parent after a stroke, step in. If someone with chronic pain needs help returning to meaningful activity, be the one to create that plan. If an elderly client is isolated and losing their identity, design the intervention that brings them back to life. When employers ask you to do less, remember, your profession asks you to do more. And let me tell you from experience, it is way more fun that way. This is your time to be bold. What's going on over there? Oh, there's a cockroach on the floor. Okay, moving back. Thought there was something wrong. Okay. All right, now this is really our time to be bold. Be the OT who introduces mindfulness in skilled nursing. Be the OT who addresses executive functioning in adults with ADHD. Be the OT who asks, what matters to you? And then actually builds treatments around that answer. Because that's where the magic happens. When you look at a patient not as a diagnosis or a billable unit, but as a person with goals, fears, talent, and untapped potential. When you see someone's whole life and not just their current limitation. The truth is, most patients don't even know what we're capable of until we show them. And that's part of our mission, to show the world what occupational therapy really is. To make people say, I didn't know OT could help with that. And reply confidently, yes, we can. And here's how. So go forward with pride, with fire, with the knowledge that you are part of something bigger. A profession that doesn't just treat conditions, but restores lives. Congratulations, graduates. Now go out there and be the OT who refuses to be stuck in a box. Your scope is vast, your skills are powerful, and your patients are waiting. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeanette, for your beautiful and inspiring words. I'll never forget our first advising session when we were talking and I asked, well, what do you think you want to do? And you said, I think I want to do women's health, and just been wonderful to see you shine and flourish in your career. So I'm really proud of you. And we're happy to have you as an adjunct faculty as well. Now I'd like to invite Dr. Glenn to read the names for the pinning ceremony.
Ready? Jordan Allen. Javier Alvarado. Karina Amor. Ashlyn Bowman. Monica Joanne Cabrera. Johnny Chacon. Emily Cole. Haley Davidson. Anna Domasing. Bailey Fennel. Jesse Hajime Soblan Flynn. Amber Foster. Annika Gonzalez. Izzy Gray. Kevin Harper. Bailey Ivy. Grace Jeffries. Kaylin King. Cassidy Kiabu. Teresa Lee. Karina Madigan. Reese O'Neill. Madison Ostrander. Danais Oyola. Cynthia Pacheco. Morgan Peterson. Kelsey Powell. Carly Presti. Sydney Schmidt. Sydney Spicer. Navy Waske. Emily Simon. Sierra Strader. Phoebe Sutton. Mercedes Thompson. Cecilia Reitzman. Malachi Williams. Rachel Nickel. And now Mindy Delbridge will lead the students in the occupational therapy oath.
All right. You guys ready? Okay. All right. Do you want him to stand up? Please stand up. Okay. Okay. Reverently and earnestly, do I pledge my wholehearted service to enhancing the participation in social inclusion of individuals, families, groups, and vulnerable populations across the lifespan. To this end, that my work may be successful, I will ever strive for greater knowledge, skill, and understanding in the discharge of my duties in whatsoever position I may find myself. I solemnly declare that I will hold and keep inviolate whatever I may learn of the lives of those that I work with. I acknowledge the dignity and of the cure of disease and the safeguarding of health, in which no act is menial or inglorious. I will walk in upright faithfulness, work with the members of the healthcare team, and will strive for patience, kindness, and strength, and the service of facilitating thriving minds and bodies. Good job. Okay. You can be seated.
For our closing remarks, I would like to invite Dr. Ann Lee Birch, Dean of the Arizona School of Health Sciences, to share some words.
Well, these are the closing words, so I'll try to keep them short. My name is Ann Lee Birch, and I'm the Dean of the Arizona School of Health Sciences. And before I read you my words that I prepared tonight, I want all the students to stand up actually and turn around and thank the faculty and friends and family that are in the room. If you could stand up one more time and give them a big round of applause. And you can stay standing up, students, and please thank your faculty and Dr. Wolf and Dr. Radziak. And you can be seated now. I also want to thank Ashley. Where's Ashley? Is she here? Or she's in the other room? You know, Ashley, the program manager who organizes all of these events and is so amazing. Let's give her a big round of applause. And one more person, she's going to be embarrassed, but it's our beautiful photographer. It's her birthday tomorrow, so give her a big round. All right, and personally, I have never heard such inspiring student speeches. So one of you might want to go and be my speaker tomorrow at commencement. How about that? But those were great speeches, and from our alumni, wonderful speeches, and so much energy, so much cheering, and just great energy in this room. Oh, there you go. So it has been a wonderful ceremony and a celebration of your professional growth, students, as you move closer to that ultimate goal of becoming a licensed occupational therapist. Gathering together to mark milestones through traditional ceremonies allows us to express thanks to those who have supported you along the way, parents, families, friends, faculty, and staff. Tradition also allows us to reflect on those important moments and to pause for a minute. To pause and think about times when you had to dig deep and find your own well of perseverance and courage, or to remember those times when it was okay to lean on others, share light moments, laugh, and just get on with it. My hope, students, is that for the remainder of your time with us, you will continue to question, learn, wonder, feel moments of uncertainty. This may seem counterintuitive, but understanding how dynamic healthcare is, the ongoing discovery, research, changing demographics, policies, require that each of us remain curious and humble, eager to spend our lives learning. One element of providing client-centered care remains constant, and that is the gift of giving your clients your time and attention. People need to trust the person before they listen to the advice, and human beings can tell when you are fully there. The anxious child looking up to you, the distraught adolescent waiting for your clarity, the vulnerable older adult needing your guidance. Emotional intelligence, some call it. Compassion, others call it. I call it humanity. That's the central ingredient for all health professions. As students, you also need guidance and compassion. So here is my little bit of advice today. Always remember that graduate school in the health professions is a privilege and that each day is precious. Know that moments of inspiration can happen anywhere and be spurred by any conversation, any observation. So take the time to reflect upon what you have learned each day and from whom. I believe strongly in your success and in your preparation for that success. I believe strongly in ATSU's mission statement of whole person healthcare, serving the underserved, educational excellence, and community. So continue to tap into your personal courage. Continue to thank those that have helped you along the way. And don't forget to enjoy this last phase of your education with a lot of gusto. Congratulations, and I will see you tomorrow afternoon, June 6th, at the Mesa Arts Center for your commencement. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dean Birch. That concludes our ceremonies. I'll invite our graduates to rise and lead us out. So thank you so much and enjoy the rest of the evening.